going on? What's going on? We got a few things for y'all today. We're gonna start this Floyd Mayweather interview. Let me know if you guys can't see the screen. You should be able to. Who's more of a legend now? I knew we weren't gonna be able to see the screen. Hold on, let me fix this real fast. 1 second. Okay, there's that screen. Is there wish of both? Now we're cooking. Here we go. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted.
That's what I can say a best fighter in the world.
Mayweather says the upcoming bout with Pacquiao is not about money. Training and boxing still bring joy and motivation, and stepping into the ring remains something he truly enjoys.
It's not really about the money. I'm enjoying myself. I'm able to stay in shape. And whereas with a professional fight, like when you're training for all the top guys, you have to work extremely hard. And you have to work out extremely a lot, meaning you have to do, between 5 and 8 mile runs. You have to work out in the swimming pool. You have to chop wood. You have to do a lot of sparring. You have to do, it takes a lot of bag work, hand specialists,
He not lying.
masseuse. It takes a lot for a fight that's at a crazy high magnitude, with a super fight. But when it's an exhibition, you can come in the gym, you can work out, you can hit the bag, you can spar a little bit, you can do little light runs, you can have fun, you can travel the world and still do your workouts, and it's pretty cool.
Meanwhile, Pacquiao says he gained valuable lessons from their first fight, which he will apply strategically in this upcoming bout.
I learned a lot on that fight way back 2015. I think we uh, we become mature right now and how to handle it, and I hope that it will not happen again, the way it is last 2015. It's the experience is
I would have thought his English would have been better by now after all these years of doing business in America and him being a politician and whatnot.
not really 100%, but I'm hoping for this time around, no more excuses, especially to my condition, and also for everything. I'm so excited and ready to the fight. Although before he wants an exhibition with me, but I disagree, and I want to fight with exhibition with him. I want to fight a real fight like this. So
Instead of traditional pay-per-view, the fight reaches a massive global audience through streaming subscriptions, sponsorship deals, and merchandise sales, making it one of the biggest sporting events of the year.
when people say the biggest fight in boxing history, you know, if you don't adjust for inflation, et cetera, or tickets sold, et cetera, you know, Joe Louis and Max Schmeling, the rematch, Ali and Frazier, the first fight, these were the biggest fights in boxing history. But Mayweather and Pacquiao was easily the biggest fight of its era, of the generation. And it was the highest grossing fight of all time because it had 4.4 million pay-per-view buys at $100 a pop. Do the math, right?
And $100 is a lot for pay-per-view at the time.
It's interesting because Netflix is obviously in the business of, you said, eventizing. Everyone, they want enormous events that become shared experiences. In a way, in this day and age, partly because of delivery systems of content like Netflix, everything is so niche. You know, everything is so compartmentalized that there's very few shared experiences. It's one of the reasons that the NFL is such a big deal, because the NFL can get tens of millions of people.
Oscar De La Hoya believes Floyd Mayweather Jr. will defeat Manny Pacquiao again, praising his elite defense and ring control.
See, one thing about Mayweather you have to understand is he's always taken care of himself. Like, you know, his body, physically, mentally, he's always been very sharp and always staying in the gym and doing something physically, right? That's the big advantage he has. I mean, he's an athlete. He's a world-class athlete. You know, watching Pacquiao's last fight, you kind of feel bad. You kind of feel bad for him, and you know, even though he did win, and
Why would you feel bad for a millionaire?
did, I guess, pull off a surprise in his last fight with a draw against the world champion. But still, you tend to kind of like feel bad because it's not the same Pacquiao. You know, it's definitely not.
It's not the same Floyd either.
The same Pacquiao I faced. That's for sure. The one that you know, put me on my stool in the 9th round. And
He believes Floyd's ability to avoid punches and dictate the fight's tempo kept opponents frustrated throughout his career.
if they make it a real fight with the real rules, then yeah, it's an okay night for boxing.
Who would you back? Who do you think would win it? If it's a real fight, because that's what Pacquiao wants, it seems.
Yeah, I think Mayweather will. I think Mayweather will take it. Yeah,
Manny Pacquiao is now fully focused on boxing only. Unlike the first fight, there are no distractions, and all attention remains on training and preparation.
We want to know, do you plan to return to politics, or is boxing now your focus for the next few years?
First of all, I would like to congratulate all the fighters, the Filipinos who won the fight tonight. I'm proud of them, being a Filipino. And also, this is all I can say, that Pacman is back and the journey will continue. And about politics, forget about politics. I'm a private citizen right now. I want to live simple life, be giving inspiration and to help. I'm still helping other people. Like, you know, that's my heart, to leave a legacy, because I always say this to everyone, the Filipino, especially the
He has been known to blow crazy amounts of money on friends and family.
Filipino people. I want to create a legacy that I can leave behind when we're gone. Because we're not forever in this world. We're just passing by.
Sean Porter says Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao stay elite because disciplined living and clean habits keep both legends active even at this age.
Even when you're Floyd Mayweather, that's got to be a hard thing to do, and especially when you're 49 years old.
So there's some really good pros about it. You know, he's done some exhibitions. He's shown that he still has the abilities that he's had. They're clearly not what they used to be, but they're still there, you know. And then beyond that, the fact that he lives a good, clean life, you know. He has his fun, and what I like about him, and I'm a lot the same. We have fun without, I call it clean fun, right? Yeah. So we're out there, but we're not using the alcohol. We're not using, you know, the substances and all those other kinds of things. Yeah, we may stay up late once or twice a month, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but what's the worst that can happen? And for someone like him, who he got everywhere he got because of this right here, that's never going to change for him, right? So he's just going to lock back in, and he'll literally be the Floyd of old.
Sean Porter highlights the unique stakes
I don't know about the Floyd hold, buddy.
of this matchup, emphasizing how rare it is for a fighter like Floyd Mayweather to risk his perfect record at this stage in his career. While many athletes his age might choose safer exhibitions or low-risk appearances, Floyd is putting everything on the line, making this fight official and not just a showcase. Porter notes that this willingness to compete seriously at his age is what draws attention and keeps fans intrigued. Despite the high risk, Porter expresses confidence that Floyd's skill, discipline, and strategic approach will allow him to maintain his undefeated record. It's the combination of experience, training, and a lifetime of smart choices that make Floyd formidable even against younger opponents.
It feels like such a massive risk, though, Sean, even for Floyd, to put that 50-0 record, that unblemished record on the line. From that standpoint, are you surprised that they didn't do this as an exhibition, that it is a real deal sanctioned fight?
I'm not really surprised. I think that, again, when you get in the ring with Floyd, when you do a promotion against Floyd, when you have to deal with the business with Floyd, you grow, you learn. Manny has grown and learned the same way that we were notorious for saying Canelo became a different fighter after fighting Floyd. It's how it's supposed to go, you know? So I'm willing to bet that this sanctioned fight is Manny's team pushing against this and saying we need an actual fight against Floyd. If it's not an actual fight, it's nothing. And I think Floyd, you know, he just really believes in himself and knows that that ain't going nowhere.
If he really believed in himself, why wouldn't he want to do an actual fight against Manny Pacquiao up front as opposed to an exhibition fake fight?
I'm not suggesting it's going to be like the same thing as it was back when they did it.
This bout becomes more than just entertainment. It becomes a test of legacy, a moment where reputations and records are genuinely at stake. Fans and analysts alike watch closely because every punch and every round carries weight, and the outcome will either cement Floyd's legendary status further or mark an unprecedented shift in his career. Porter frames the fight as a compelling blend of risk, skill, and history, ensuring that the stakes are felt by everyone watching.
Do you think people will be into this, Sean? Will this captivate the sports world? It was dubbed the fight of the century last time. I know a lot of people ultimately weren't thrilled with the outcome, perhaps, or the action of the fight. Do you think people will be into this?
You know, boxing is known as having a walk-up crowd, right? So when you don't see a lot of pre-sold tickets, it's kind of like, I know the promoters, the business, they don't worry about it because they're like, night of, everybody's showing up. I got a feeling we're going to have a majority of the boxing world, of the sports world, everybody's going to be pushing against this. This is stupid. What are they doing? Man, Floyd's taking this risk. They're almost 50. They're going to say everything that needs to be said, but then guess what?
I don't feel like they'll be pushing against. They'll just be acting like they care.
But everybody's going to tune in and watch this one. The same thing happened when Mike fought Jake. It was like, what is this? It doesn't make sense. I can't believe it. I know people personally said, I'm boycotting this.
Joe Rogan and Shakur Stevenson both agree that Floyd Mayweather remains impressively sharp, even in recent sparring sessions. They note that his timing, reflexes, and defensive skills are still at an elite level, reflecting years of disciplined training and unmatched experience. According to them, Mayweather's ability to read opponents, evade punches, and control the pace of a fight gives him a significant edge over most challengers, including Manny Pacquiao. Both commentators express skepticism that Pacquiao could overcome Mayweather's precision and strategy, emphasizing that age has not diminished Floyd's effectiveness in the ring. Their observations reinforce the idea that Mayweather's legacy as one of boxing's greatest remains intact, and that this matchup will test Pacquiao more than it challenges Floyd.
And I know they're going to do that on Netflix.
Floyd.
I think that's still a high-level fight, though. That's what I love about it, because I think Manny is still a high-level fighter. And Floyd, even in these exhibitions that he's been doing,
looking good.
He looks great, man. He looks great in sparring. You see him in sparring, like, good Lord, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he's lost a step.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't see Manny being able to beat Floyd Mayweather. Like, I don't see it. I think Manny looked solid his last fight with Barrios, but I just don't see Floyd losing. Like, I think it's some guys that he could
I can see most people looking solid against Barrios.
come back today in the sport of boxing and fight.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, guys
even
like
though he's
Barrios,
46. Yeah, right.
I think he would
He would light Barrios up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teddy Atlas points out the contrasting styles and physical attributes of Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. He notes that Mayweather is naturally bigger, which gives him strength and reach advantages in the ring. However, Pacquiao's speed, agility, and high activity level make him a formidable opponent, especially against someone less active. Atlas emphasizes that Mayweather's long period of inactivity could affect his timing and endurance, while Pacquiao's constant movement and fast combinations could create openings. Despite this, he acknowledges Floyd's experience, defensive mastery, and ring IQ as major factors that could counter Pacquiao's aggression. Atlas frames the fight as a classic clash of size and experience versus speed and relentless activity.
They're both old, right? So that's number one. The number two was who's got less miles on the odometer? And because of the defensive style of Mayweather, I gave a check to Mayweather having the edge here. I mean, besides the Marquez fights, Pacquiao's been in some tough fights, right? Reflexes and timing and other boxing elements. Well, I gave the check to Pacquiao. You know, at least he's had some fights, or at least one real fight, you know, with Barrios recently. And yeah, Mayweather's fresher, but inactivity could affect his timing, especially early in the fight. So next one, power. Well, the guy who's always been a naturally better puncher, not the naturally bigger guy though. So that equals it out a little bit, evens it out.
Wade Plemons recently shared concerns about streaming platforms
I don't really respect Wade Plemons. Let's go.
promoting fights involving older boxing legends. According to Plemons, events hosted on platforms like Netflix often focus more on entertainment value and
Boxing focuses more on entertainment value as an industry.
commercial success rather than the long-term health of the sport. He explained that while legendary fighters built incredible reputations during their prime years, bringing them back to compete when they are far removed from that peak can create a different impression for younger audiences who never saw them at their best. Plemons believes that these fights are largely driven by business opportunities. The huge audience, sponsorship deals, and global streaming reach make such events extremely profitable. Fans remain curious to see how legends like Floyd Mayweather Jr. perform at an older age, which naturally generates massive attention.
Finding things that people want to see, grabbing attention when procuring sports for their platform. You don't see Netflix going out, no offense to, smaller events in boxing or MMA or really anything, but you don't see Netflix going out and grabbing, a regular fight night to put on their platform. You don't see Netflix going out and showcasing high school football or even college football. You see them going after the biggest and most watched events they can possibly make. And I think, again, that's a good thing that boxing is included in it at all, right? You're seeing these exhibitions with Jake, and you're seeing the Mike
That's the content creation industry.
Tyson, Jake Paul fight, and those do bring a ton of audience. Whether you like the fights or not, they do. And again, it brings more people to the sport. Do I wish that more people came to the sport for, championship bouts between guys like Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, or that we could showcase the Ring 4 card on Netflix for David Benavidez and Anthony Yard and Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr.? Of course I do.
However, Plemons argues that the constant focus on returning legends can overshadow the emerging talents who are actively shaping the future of
And barely any emerging talents.
boxing. He believes that while the nostalgia factor certainly draws viewers and generates excitement, the sport would benefit far more from highlighting fighters currently in their prime, whose performances are defining the next era. Plemons stresses that honoring past champions is important for boxing's history and culture, but relying on them repeatedly for major events risks stagnating the sport and diverting attention from fresh talent. In his view, promoting active rising fighters ensures sustained growth, keeps fans engaged with contemporary competition, and balances respect for legends with the sport's long-term development and evolution.
You have to find a way to get it in front of a massive audience to then have that trickle-down effect to the people that come for the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, the Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis, the Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, 16 years after it happened, or even the Crawford Canelo fight, and hold on to as many of those people as possible that are interested in this sport. And in that way, again, everyone eats. And I think it is good for boxing. Now, you're always going
This sport ain't about everyone eating. That's the thing.
to have this discussion of like, what's better for the sport? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? You're going to have people that go, no, I don't want to see this because they're two legends and are going to look like lesser versions of themselves than we remembered. And in that way, it may hurt their legacy. I'm not one of those people. I can separate the best
from when they were the best to what they are now. And if these guys were, I mean, Floyd's close to 50. He might be 50 at this point. I don't even know. This is going to be a lesser version of that, but it's not like, you know, someone in their 60s doing this, or even Mike in his late 50s doing this.
When you're exchanging blows to the head, it's dangerous at any age, especially later on in life.
And even then, I could
This is coming from a fighter.
separate, like Jake Paul beating Mike Tyson in a pro bout was not.
Tim Bradley reflects on the upcoming fight between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, acknowledging the reality of the situation. He states, "It's a sad thing, but it is what it is," emphasizing that despite public opinion, the fight is happening for clear reasons. Bradley explains that Mayweather wouldn't step into the ring unless he truly believed he could defeat Pacquiao. He describes Mayweather as sensitive and insecure, noting that the former champion always feels the need to have an advantage. Bradley points out that Mayweather observed Mario Barrios' defeat at the hands of Ryan Garcia, which sparked confidence in him. Thinking that he is better than Barrios, Mayweather believes his experience, hand speed, and discipline keep him capable of beating Pacquiao, even nearing 50 years of age.
Because he needs money, that's why. All the rumors are true. It's a sad thing, but it is what it is. But it is what it is. And you know one more thing. Mayweather, if Mayweather didn't believe that he can beat Manny Pacquiao, he wouldn't be in the ring with him. Yeah, you know, Mr. Sensitive. I love Mayweather, but let's keep it a buck. Oh, he's sensitive as hell. Not only is he sensitive, the man, he's insecure like hell. He's insecure, and he got to have a leg up on your ass. And he saw the Barrios fight, and Barrios just got smashed by Ryan Garcia. And then now he like, oh, well, Barrios is all right. I'm better than Barrios. Even though I'm damn near 50, I'm still better than Barrios, my experience.
Bradley also highlights the influence of modern platforms like Netflix, explaining that the streaming service now seeks premium content and is willing to pay for it. He credits Jake Paul for opening the avenue that allows older legends like Mayweather and Pacquiao to showcase themselves again, making the venture financially rewarding. While Bradley appreciates that legends are getting this opportunity, he personally feels the timing is late. Nonetheless, he predicts that the fight will attract massive global attention. In his opinion, while everyone will tune in, Pacquiao does not have the ability to defeat Mayweather at this point.
I had some exhibitions. I know I can still do this. That's what he thinking. He like, I still can do this. I can beat Manny Pacquiao. I saw what Barrios did.
You also think about that debt he in.
To him. So that's the reason why this fight is happening. The rumors are damn true. It's sad, but it is what it is. And you know what? The money right now for content is crazy. Netflix is paying for any type of great ass content, man. If you seen the change with Netflix, man, I almost canceled my damn subscription with Netflix because I got sick and tired of seeing the same boring ass shit on Netflix. And now they got this woman in place now, and she's seeking out, and she want the best of the best content. You know, they got podcasters and stuff all on Netflix now. I mean, it has grown crazy. So, you know, Jake Paul opened up the Netflix avenue. Yeah, he opened it up.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until
Just because you did it first doesn't necessarily mean you opened it up. I don't know.
next time.
Look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like he's got a tap. Just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he got to be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up. You know,
all the money. You got to show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's nuts.
Joe Rogan didn't exactly whisper his doubts when Floyd Mayweather's real estate claims came up. He practically leaned over the podcast table and said, "Hold on, that math doesn't add up."
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but I want to show you, when I show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
And that Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like
jewelry debt,
hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from a individual, from a billionaire, that had a 9% interest on the loan.
Rogan questioned the whole narrative around Floyd, saying he owns dozens of buildings worth tens of millions, pointing out that flashy claims and verified assets are two very different things.
He owed that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
It's
pay.
neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You could sell those.
And that's where the conversation gets spicy, because Floyd built the entire Money Mayweather persona on the idea of limitless wealth, stacks of cash, luxury watches, and a financial empire that seemed untouchable. But reports floating around the business world paint a more complicated picture.
That Floyd Mayweather has made, and because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely
He's not even wrong. If you're spending that much money, you deserve it.
fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings from fights.
According to Business Insider, 2 of Mayweather's commercial properties have already faced foreclosure, and there were even reports that his Las Vegas strip club building risked being seized over unpaid property taxes. Add to that lawsuits claiming unpaid luxury watch and jewelry bills, something Floyd has pushed back against, and suddenly the conversation turns from bragging rights to financial scrutiny.
They said that, things that they said in this article were insane, that Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan.
The outlet also noted that 2 Trump Las Vegas condos were temporarily seized for unpaid taxes before being returned after a payment, while a massive $54 million loan reportedly used his homes, private jet, and businesses as collateral. Whether exaggeration or misunderstanding, the gap between the money image in these reports has definitely fueled debate. That whole Joe Rogan skepticism about Floyd's financial empire already had the conversation wobbling a bit, but then Chael Sonnen storms into the discussion like a guy who just grabbed the microphone and decided subtlety is overrated. Chael basically looks at the entire "Is Floyd Broke" headline and goes, "Why are we even pretending this is shocking?"
What's wrong with that? And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd? Yes, he's broke.
Of course he's broke.
You just say what's wrong with being broke?
He's a boxer. Did they say he can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing channel, right? I mean, it's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course.
His father? His uncle was in the boxing game?
Broke.
He literally flips the question back on the audience, saying if you wake up and go to work every week because you need money, why would it suddenly be strange for a boxer to keep fighting for the same reason? And I'm sitting here thinking, that's peak Chael logic, half brutal honesty, half troll energy. But he doesn't stop there. Chael starts dismantling the mythology around boxing paydays, pointing out that the billion-dollar earnings numbers and those gigantic pay-per-view claims often come from press releases rather than publicly confirmed financial records. When he says nobody from the companies actually processing the pay-per-views has verified those absurd figures, that line alone throws a grenade into years of boxing hype narratives.
He's a gambling addict. He's got baby mamas all over the way. What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking
Andre Ward isn't broke.
the question.
Terrence Crawford isn't broke.
Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check?
At the same time, Chael isn't just roasting Floyd, he's roasting the entire sport's financial storytelling. Then he pivots into the contract chaos, pointing out how Floyd announcing multiple fights around the supposed Tyson matchup would drive any promoter insane, because in the fight business, timing and exclusivity are everything. And that's where the irony hits hard. Chael notes Floyd accusing Showtime of shady business practices.
And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be sympathetic to Floyd.
While critics accuse Floyd's own promotion of similar confusion with Logan Paul, suddenly the narrative becomes a hall of mirrors where everyone thinks someone else is the villain. Yet here's the funny contradiction Chael unintentionally highlights. People can question Floyd's finances, doubt the paydays, argue about contracts, or roll their eyes at exhibitions. But the second Mayweather's name appears on a fight poster, the entire combat sports world still stops and pays attention.
Floyd Mayweather owes Logan Paul $1.3 million. No, he doesn't. Just to clear that up, no, he doesn't. Will Logan ever get the money? I think Floyd's broke. Floyd does not owe Logan $1.3 million. Floyd's promotion owes Logan $1.3 million. And no, of course he's not going to get it. That promotion's already shut down. Allegedly, by the way, yes.
Chael Sonnen already tossed gasoline on the whole Floyd might be broke conversation. But then Jason Whitlock and that panel jump in, and the discussion suddenly turns into a full-blown roundtable of financial detectives. And I'm sitting there like, wow, we've officially gone from fight analysis to forensic accounting with boxing gloves on. Whitlock starts the whole thing by leaning into Shannon Sharpe and Ochocinco's theory that Floyd unretiring is basically about chasing a massive payday, and the moment those names like Canelo, Manny Pacquiao, and Terrence Crawford start getting thrown around, you can feel the business angle immediately. Shannon's saying those are the only fights that could generate the type of money Floyd might want. That's not just speculation, that's basically the celebrity super fight menu. But then Whitlock jumps in with that Rocky movie reference, why do you fight? And suddenly the conversation turns philosophical in the funniest way possible.
Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco suggested on their podcast that Floyd Mayweather is talking about coming back, unretiring.
He is.
Because he's broke.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip here of Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco.
There are only 3 fights that Floyd can have that can command and get the kind of money he's looking to recoup for money that may have been lost, or money that may have been stolen, or money he may have spent, to date. For one, a rematch with Canelo. That's one fight.
Canelo too big.
Listen to me, Unc. We talk about making that money. He ain't gonna have no choice.
Because yeah, Floyd built an entire brand around the idea that money equals success, literally changing from pretty boy to money. And Whitlock points out the brutal irony. When your entire image is built on wealth, any rumor about financial trouble becomes a headline hurricane. Then Dre adds a more grounded angle, saying the real issue isn't what Floyd earned, it's what we don't know about liquidity, assets, liabilities, taxes, lifestyle, basically the financial iceberg under the flashy Instagram photos. Meanwhile, the panel throws in jokes about gamblers going broke, IRS bills, luxury spending, and suddenly Floyd's career looks less like a victory lap and more like a complicated puzzle. Yet here's the part that makes me laugh. While half the panel's questioning the logic of watching a nearly 50-year-old fighter step back into the ring, the other half quietly admits something every fight fan knows deep down. If Floyd Mayweather actually announces a fight with someone like Crawford, Canelo, or even Pacquiao again, everybody arguing about it right now will still be watching when the bell rings.
$1 billion and he's 47 years old and he's completely broke. He's won the prize. This is, of all the idiots that we've seen out there, celebrities, actors, entertainers that have lost a lot of money, this guy would take the cake. To blow a bill before he even hits 50 is unimaginable. It actually is sad. It's a cautionary tale. We have seen it time and time again. But who actually wants to watch this guy fight? Like, people that love him. If he comes out and if he loses and looks terrible and gets destroyed, well, look, if you love him or hate him, you can say, well, he's nearly 50 years old. This doesn't prove anything.
Whitlock and that panel already turned the Floyd comeback story into a financial courtroom drama. But then Andre Ward slides into the conversation and the tone changes immediately, from hot take speculation to fighter-level reflection. And honestly, that contrast hits different. Ward basically opens by reminding everyone he's always respected Floyd's work ethic. And I'm nodding, because that part often gets lost when people only focus on the flash. Ward says the glitz, the cars, the jets, all of that was part of the Mayweather brand. But underneath it, there was always a gym rat who never skipped the grind. And when Ward admits he's torn about this comeback, you can feel the honesty there, because he's not attacking Floyd like the rumor mill has been doing. He's saying something deeper. Boxing becomes part of your identity. When Ward explains that the adrenaline, the attention, the massive fight night checks create a feeling that regular life can't replicate.
Part of that is because of the way Floyd Mayweather goes about his business. He's been filthy rich. He's made his name, his legacy, and a lot of his reputation wasn't just the boxing, it was the money. It's the money man. What I have, what I'm driving, what I'm living in, what I'm flying in. And a lot of people, they don't like that. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather had more supporters for most of his fights or more haters. But regardless of where you fall on that line, Floyd Mayweather made it work for him when many people, promoters included, networks included, early on didn't think that he can do it.
That's the kind of insight only a former champion can deliver. Then he pivots to the Pacquiao rematch, and suddenly the analyst in me wakes up again. Ward points out something interesting. Older fighters sometimes create more action because they can't rely on constant movement like they once did. Less foot speed, more exchanges. And that idea alone flips the narrative people keep repeating about this fight being automatically boring. But the tension Ward keeps circling back to is the real danger of age. Your mind still thinks you're the same fighter, while your body quietly disagrees. That line alone explains half the tragedies boxing has ever seen. Yet even while Ward admits he'd prefer both legends relaxing on a beach somewhere enjoying retirement, he also admits curiosity wins again. Because when two icons with unfinished history step back into the ring, the entire fight world watches whether we plan to or not.
He's going to watch a fighter. He'll say he don't watch him, but he'll watch any potential opponent over and over and over. And he has to process, can he do anything with me? How does my skill set line up with his? Can I beat him? The problem with being 49 years of age is sometimes your brain can see things and tell you things that your body's not in agreement with. That's the problem with age. Your brain is still saying, I'm him. Your brain is still saying, man, I'm Money Mayweather. Man, these youngsters can't deal with me. But your body is saying, brother, we can't do it like that anymore.
And when you step back and look at this whole situation from a distance, It honestly feels like 4 completely different realities colliding at the same time. Joe Rogan is questioning the financial empire narrative. Chael Sonnen is ripping apart the mythology of boxing paydays. Whitlock's panel is dissecting the business.
I do think there could be a bit of inflation and fabrication there with some of the reported paydays, but that's with a lot of things in business, honestly.
And lifestyle side of the story. And then Andre Ward comes in with the fighter's perspective, reminding everyone that this sport gets into your DNA in a way money alone can't replace. One side of the debate says Floyd's comeback is about chasing another massive payday. Another side says the financial rumors are exaggerated gossip. And Ward's take quietly reminds us that sometimes fighters return because the spotlight, the competition, and the adrenaline are things normal life just can't recreate. That's the real tension here. Legacy versus longevity, business versus passion. And whether people believe Floyd is chasing money, chasing history, or just chasing that feeling of being Money Mayweather again, the truth is the conversation itself proves his influence. Because look around, everyone is debating, arguing, analyzing every angle of this comeback. And that's exactly the gravitational pull legends have on the sport.
That's the struggle, and that's the danger of coming back at this age. So part of me wants to see these guys continue to make money. Part of me wants to see these guys, how do they do it at this age? Man, show me something. Show me how your mind can overtake the deficiencies you may have in your body at your age. But the deeper part of me, man, I want to see Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao on a beach somewhere, living off the fruits of their labor, helping the game however they see fit to help the game, and just watching the next generations do what they do. But hey, we got to fight September 19th.
Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Floyd Mayweather returning is about money, love for the sport, or unfinished legacy business with Manny Pacquiao? Drop your take in the comments. Let's really talk about it. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you.
Like, share, and subscribe to me, motherfuckers.
Look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's...
When we talk about Hall of Famer, he's a Hall of Famer. But nobody has the remedy on how to beat Floyd.
Welcome to Inside the Ring, boxing's official show of record, and let's face it, your favorite show. It's your favorite show. I'm your host, Max Kellerman. Joining me to my right, making his first appearance as a contributor on the show, a pound-for-pound fighter and #1 ranked welterweight in the world by Ring Magazine, meaning the #1 welterweight in the world, Devin the Dream Haney. How you doing, Devin? Good to have you here.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm happy to be here.
To my left, the man who just can't seem to get along with anyone, Ring Magazine senior insider and public enemy #1, Mike Coppinger. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, you know who I get along with?
Getting on my nerves.
Devin Haney, that's what I get along with.
You just got on my nerves already. As soon as you said, hey, immediately. And to Mike's left, the man who will be conducting Mike Coppinger's employee review, his employee performance review, the editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine,
Thank you, Doug.
and Mike Coppinger's
I don't
boss.
think you suck. Thank you, Doug.
All right. Yeah, Doug Fisher. All right, guys, time for the lead hook. We start with, oh, look at that, Devin Haney and Rolly Romero. Got Devin right here in studio for the whole show, so why not? After a back and forth on Twitter with Rolly, Devin, is this a done deal? Are you going to be fighting Rolly? What can you tell us at this moment?
Yeah, I can't say that it's a done deal yet. We're working on it. I think that it's very likely that it will happen. I think that it's a good fight for boxing. A chance for me to pick up another belt, beat the guy who beat Ryan, and move up higher on the pound for pound list, and just show how great I really am.
Yeah, I mean, guys, we have Ryan. Let's have an honest discussion about this whole situation. Rolly, I mean, like, of course, Shady isn't here today, who always gets on Rolly whenever his name is brought up. But look, he is not the most skillful fighter in the world. However, he has a way, as all successful fighters do, of landing his shots. And he's got like stone, it's like he got bricks in his hands, right? He's a heavy-handed guy. And Devin, we have seen you dropped before, right? So before I even get to you, not to talk about you as though you're not here, how dangerous is this a fight for Devin Haney, a guy who can make it ugly?
It's interesting because if you compare Devin with Rolly in terms of natural talent, ring intelligence, skill, technique, everything
different
edges
class
towards Devin. Devin has the advantage. But when you talk about styles, Rolly is unorthodox. Rolly is awkward. And we've seen in the past where an unorthodox fighter,
You're going to bring it. You're going to bring it up. I know where you're going.
Versus Ricardo Mayweather.
I knew it.
And Sergio Mora.
Doug. You and me. I got it.
Both Mayorga and Mora had unorthodox styles. They didn't work off their jabs. They didn't necessarily move in the right directions. But there's a method to their madness. And they were world-class fighters. And on the best night of their professional careers, they were able to upset an elite boxer, a pound-for-pound level boxer in Vernon Forrest. So we've seen it happen.
All right, this is like maybe your favorite fighter. Oh, does this guy love you? The only guy, I think I know why. It's because you're the only guy who likes him. He finally found a friend. Go ahead. What do you think about this fight?
I mean, look, Rolly Romero, I think he's underrated. He can really punch. I remember being ringside for his fight a couple of years ago in Texas, and you can feel those punches from ringside. I mean, especially at 135. But I think at 147, you see his lower body's gotten a lot bigger. He looks stout against Ryan Garcia, and he is awkward. It's tough to fight Rolly Romero, but Devin Haney, I think his jab is too good. His footwork, his fundamentals. I think Devin Haney outboxes Rolly, grabs another title, and then hopefully sets up the fight we really want to see, which is the Ryan Garcia rematch.
Do you like Rolly, or is he nice to you also?
I like Rolly.
Okay, all right, good, just been. All right, Devin, before I want to have a conversation with you about this also, but first, I would like your thoughts about what they have said so far.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with him. He has a very awkward style, and that's what makes it hard for guys to beat him. And that's where we see that Ryan had a lot of trouble with him, just because he just didn't know how to adjust to his awkwardness. But this is a fight where I go in there and I have fun and I show how good I really am. I think that with a guy like Rolly, I'm able to showcase a lot more in my arsenal. I'm able to bring out a lot more tools.
This is going to be a real fight to the year.
And, really open up on him.
You're one of these guys who occasionally I see it. You see a guy in a lighter weight class. You know he's athletic, you know he's good, but he's starving himself to make the weight. It's clearly not the most effective he's been. And then he moves into what I would call his natural weight class. You might get bigger than this, but I have a feeling I'll look back at your career and say, Devin was in his prime at welterweight. That's where you look to me like you're at your best right now. And when he gets there, you're like, oh, okay, that's what he can do. And I think you're there now. But I was critical of your performance in against Norman, because over the first half of the fight, it's like, I'm thinking I'm going to come on this show and just rave about Devin.
Yeah.
And over the second half of this fight, like in other sports, it's called you're playing to sit on a lead, right? Mm-hmm. A prevent offense or defense, right? And what winds up happening is you stop boxing. So you were tying him up, and he was tying you up too, I understand. But you weren't doing what you were doing in the first half of the fight.
I think that if you really go back and watch the fight, I think that he did a lot more tying up than what you would think he did.
Okay. Do you think you fought the second half of the fight the way you fought the first?
No. I think that I fought a more disciplined fight in the second half. Because I knew that he was getting desperate. I heard him in the first half of the fight. So, he was playing catch up, and from that point on, so I had a good lead. And do I think that I could have stepped on the gas a little bit more? Of course. But it's all experience.
Now I want to get to like the nuanced part of this, okay?
Yeah.
Because now we have the fight with Rolly, right? And you're a really smart fighter in the sense that it's like, I'm going to fight in a way that just makes it hard for the other guy to win. This is an athletic competition, and if I'm up a certain number of rounds and I tie you up, tough. A lot of fighters have done that, right?
I just don't want to run that tie-up narrative because
you had something to do with that.
That is not. No, that was what he was doing. I think that because he
was hurt early.
Yes, because he was hurt.
Okay,
early.
but so don't forget, this is going.
You picked Brock.
Devin Haney impressively speaks very clear and concisely, better than a lot of other athletes, not even just boxers.
Ryan Norman, Devin, don't let him off the hook.
Yes,
I did. That's true. I absolutely did. And I saw the way you looked against Ramirez. Of course I was going to pick.
But not only you, a lot more other people. Yes, I was an underdog.
But I wouldn't have picked him had it been you before the Ramirez fight. Once I saw the Ramirez fight,
maybe I just tricked you guys.
Yeah, maybe you did. Maybe you wanted that Norman fight.
No, so maybe I just bet on myself.
Okay. Oh, I see. So the reason that's all prologue. This is what I want to say about the Rolly fight. So here would be my thought about you and Rolly. Rolly is a really dangerous puncher. He is not in your class. Rolly, I keep calling him
Rolly. Who cares?
I have something wrong in my brain when it comes to names. Something's missing. But he's not in your class, and you should outbox him. Now, I can picture a situation where it's the second half of the fight, you're way up, he's awkward, he's throwing bricks, and so there are clinches, whoever initiates it, but you guys wind up, and then after the fight, I'm critical. On the other hand, I could also see you, like a fight, you're in this situation going, I'm not gonna sit on the lead, I'm gonna keep, and then he catches you, and that's something stupid, so it like puts you in a no-win position.
Exactly, and you could have said that. If that would have happened in a Norman fight, they would have said, well, why he was up. Why didn't he just, coast to a victory? And if I would have got hurt in the last round, not even got knocked out, just got hurt, they would have said, oh, well, he should have kept doing what he was doing.
Isn't there a third option, which is where I really think the best of the best reside? I think you're in the top 10 pound for pound, but I have Shakur like 2 right now, okay? And the reason I say that is there's a third option, which is you dominate the first half and you don't stop dominating. It just gets worse and worse for the other guy.
So since we're talking about
even if it involves risk.
Do you think that Shakur could have stepped on the gas against Tio?
Maybe he could have gotten him out of there, maybe. Yeah.
But did he?
And in combat sports, you can't force knockouts. You can't look for knockouts. That's not fundamentally responsible. So you can't fault somebody for not doing that.
I would, but it didn't fall off. You're right. It didn't go up, but it never fell off.
I think that Tio was more ready to be stopped and ready to give up than Norman was.
Interesting. Guys, the floor is yours. I know I've been monopolizing.
No, never, Matt. You would never monopolize.
I want to talk to Devin. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Look, I think, Devin, and you're like Floyd Mayweather in the sense that I feel like there's so many fights I watch. And with Mayweather, it was Miguel Cotto, it was Marquez. With you, it's Prograis, it's Jose Ramirez, where we feel like you can score the stoppage if you step on it. Same with Mayweather. So obviously, you have to be held in high esteem to even have that kind of criticism.
Yeah, for sure.
But you did box beautifully against all these guys.
Then again, how many fights did we see where Floyd was an underdog?
Never.
No, he's never the underdog.
Yeah.
So that was a fight that I was an underdog in. That a lot of people picked me to lose.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They still pick me to lose.
But then, I'm the biggest Pernell Whitaker fan in the world. I'm mad that we stuck him back there. And Pernell rarely knocked guys out.
And like I'm saying,
he kept boxing their, beating their brakes off all fight, just not stopping them all.
And like I'm saying, Shakur, and not to be just so critical of Shakur, but I'm just speaking as an example that Shakur wasn't an underdog in the Tio fight. He was a favorite. A big favorite.
Right. He was. But that's partly because how does Shakur get to be an underdog? He's performed at a level where people don't believe he can be who's he gonna be the underdog against? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
you came off it wasn't even the Ryan fight, to tell you the truth. It's not fair to you that the other guy doesn't make weight and the other guy gets called PEDs and Ryan has sat in that chair and he's our guy. But that's the truth. It's the Ramirez fight for me.
For sure.
Based on that fight, I'm like, that's what happened.
Yeah, well, I fought Ramirez away. I fought Norman away. I fight Rolly away. I fought Lomachenko away. I don't fight everyone the same, and that's just is what it is.
Let's be
man's
real.
got some good wins.
You shouldn't fight everyone the same.
There's no two ways about it.
But let's be real. In defense of Devin, there's many
If there was the same way to fight everybody would train one way.
fights where Shakur did, sat on a lead. Nakathila, Harutnanian. I'm pulling a max. I don't know how to say that guy's name. The Armenian. There's been a couple of fights.
Yes.
Where
You're
he
talking
has really
about Stevenson?
Yeah, I mean, not just running.
You're right.
Yeah.
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 Now, he didn't look
I
great
cannot
in that
deny
fight.
that.
De Los Santos, I mean, was one of the worst fights I've ever
De Los
seen.
Santos pretty good though.
He didn't look
Yeah,
great
he
in
is,
that
yeah.
fight.
De Los Santos is a good fighter. Yeah. All right, guys. I guess
Have we seen has De Los Santos fought since Shakur?
Yeah, De Los Santos knocked out.
I don't think he has.
No, that's
because he was supposed to fight Keyshawn Davis last summer before Keyshawn went on his rampage.
Ooh, that's a good pull.
So how good can we say he really is? I'm not saying that. I don't know.
Yes, what Max says, he has twitchies.
Yeah, and we've seen him beat we've seen him beat good fighters.
Is he more twitchy?
He stopped Valenzuela
Is
when
he more twitchy
Valenzuela
than
was.
Brian Norman?
Is he?
Who's a better fighter? Who would you say?
Maybe
close.
De Los Santos, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
Oh, we got someone cursing in the fourth chair now, Max. It's that chair.
I'm taking Chris
It's that chair,
Ariola's
Max.
Yeah, Areola, but I expect more. Everyone likes Devin Haney, very professional. Come on, it's good. Last week on the show, we discussed who would be the A side and the B side in a Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia rematch. Someone who's new
Devin Haney would definitely be the B side, but he'd be the more skilled fighter.
to the welterweight division, Devin, Teofimo Lopez weighed in on Twitter. Quote, just freaking fight. The best time for this fight to happen. But we're talking on who's the A side, B side. Clearly, the boxing business is elongating this in plain sight. Hashtag make boxing great again. Both world champions have a history in ring, unification in Ring Magazine on the line. And then at Inside Ring Show. What's your point of view, Devin?
Yeah, this is funny because when I seen that he said this, I said, isn't this the same guy that just fought Shakur and acted like he took a dive for Shakur to win? He was like trying to I don't know, he was trying to put like this perspective that he did what the people wanted him to do, was basically lose. I don't know if you guys seen that, but
I didn't see that quote.
But the important thing is he did not pull Deontay Wilder and accuse the other guy of cheating.
Yeah,
that's the important thing.
Yeah.
What? I mean, how did Deontay just catch a stray? We weren't on Deontay Wilder.
He deserves all the strays.
You see the problem?
Deontay Wilder does deserve all the strays.
He deserves all the strays.
Do you see the problem? This is why you're his only friend. You can never turn on this man. I'm going to be getting calls in the middle of the night. All right, guys, what do you think? What do you think about the A side, B side, Doug? We haven't gotten.
I don't think there is an A side, B side. I mean, listen, boxing is show business, and Ryan moves the needle in that way. He knows how to get attention. And I love Devin, but Devin's like me. He's a quiet guy. He's a polite dude. That doesn't move the needle in this day and age.
But I disagree. I think it does move the needle.
I'm not saying he doesn't move the needle at all, but in comparison to Ryan.
Ryan has 10 million social media followers.
Exactly.
So we're saying that I do that. I do agree that he has 10 million followers, and that's good and all. But
there's nothing for you to agree on. It's just a fact.
At the end of the day, Ryan messed up the first fight. He basically just trumped the whole fight with he was acting like he was crazy.
Well, he put it in jeopardy. He made people think that he wasn't going to make it to the finish line.
Whatever the case may be, So can we really trust this guy that he won't do this again?
No, he's a loose cannon.
How do we know that?
We can't.
Look, a few things here. I remember you and I talking a few times, a few weeks before the fight. We didn't even know if the fight was happening, right? Yeah. And that was a lot of people didn't know if the fight was happening. People involved with the promotion. Devin was incredibly wagering
That drives people crazy in boxing. The boxing industry, obviously fans. But at the same time, when you're creating that kind of chaos, you're still calling attention to yourself.
You're right. Yeah. That's true. That's fair, Doug.
We're still talking about Ryan. Will he or won't?
That punishes fighters like Devin who just go about their business, behave professionally, fight really well, and don't make a lot of controversy.
In terms of accomplishments, Devin is the A side.
No question.
Okay, but we're talking about putting on an event.
I think it's an open question, though. Like I don't think there is a clear.
It's not an open question at all.
Answer because he is.
They're just acting like they disagree for rapport on the panel.
Perceived, I think, correctly. If you said, who's the #1 welterweight in the world?
Devin.
It's Devin Haney. And it's not like he's not a star, and it's not like they didn't already fight. And, now Ryan gets the win, but then has to vacate the win because he was caught with PEDs, right? Like, it's interesting.
Yeah. If Terrence Crawford was to fight any star, let's just say we can name an actor, we can name an athlete, whoever the case may be, who's going to be the A side? In boxing, they did a
Terrence
boxing.
Crawford.
Terrence Crawford.
Not against Canelo Alvarez.
Why? Well,
he does have a strong argument there.
Well, he wasn't the first time.
No, he would be the second time, yes.
Because he won.
Yeah. So, like I'm saying, what are we going off followers or are we going off accolades? I mean, it depends how you want to put it.
Well, that's why I said I don't think there is an A side or B side. You guys kind of balance each other out.
Well, so what do you do? If someone's name comes on this side of the poster, but someone else enters first, like how do you? In the end, there is an A side.
You know what I think the reality is?
I didn't. Ryan messaged me about an A side, B side. When he just randomly messaged me, I said, Ryan, let's try to make this fight happen, whatever the case. And he messaged me something saying about, well, I hope you know that I'm the A side. I'm like,
you know what I say?
Isn't that just negotiating, though?
I don't even know how it even came up.
I say, who cares? I say in this day and age, that you need 2 A sides to have a super fight. This is no longer where you can have Floyd Mayweather fighting whoever, and it's a mega pay-per-view. Those days are gone, right, Max?
I agree, but I think in the end there is an A side.
Well, sure, someone
Ali
has to be on
and
the left
Frazier were
side.
both really big. Ali was the A side, right? Like Mayweather, Pacquiao were both really big. Floyd was the A side. Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler both really big. Sugar Ray was the A side. It just is what it is.
Hey.
You got to choose.
There's ways to get around
the
it.
guy who's more showbiz. This is the A side, though.
But there are ways to get around it.
Not if he's not considered the guy, though. If he's not considered the guy, I think it's a real good question, and I just think it's a negotiating thing. Really, it's at the stage where you have to negotiate that. What's that worth to one side or another, right?
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's it. See that? I got him to agree right away.
There you go.
For those watching on YouTube, head over to DAZN to catch the rest of the show. Coming up, Jai Opetaia becomes the first ever Zuffa boxing champion. This is Inside the Ring.
When we talk about Hall of Famer, he's a Hall of Famer. But nobody has the remedy on how to beat Floyd Mayweather. Don't let them trick you into getting your ass whooped again.
I'm still young, so and I'm always active with this sport. So what I have done and accomplished in boxing, I think it's one of a kind because to get a different weight division is not that easy.
Him and me, we taking care of our body, and then we always work out almost every day and playing basketball like that. So right now, I still can fight. I feel like I'm still young. I mean, nothing changed.
Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao face off ahead of their fight. Both legends with remarkable achievements are going to fight again. Manny reminds Floyd not to overlook his accomplishments, stressing that he too is among the greatest in boxing history.
Trying to boast what I have accomplished in life, but I'm just saying this to repeat you might forget that accomplishment. So to be the greatest boxer in the world is to know how to of course be compassionate and to show the people that you're
I don't know what he means by this.
really a fighter. That's what I can say, a best fighter in the world.
Mayweather says the upcoming bout with Pacquiao is not about money. Training and boxing still bring joy and motivation, and stepping into the ring remains something he
That's what he's supposed to say.
truly enjoys.
It's not really about the money. I'm enjoying myself. I'm able to stay in shape. And
He said it's not really about the money. Notice how he said it really, because he doesn't believe that himself.
whereas with a professional fight, like when you're training for all the top guys, you have to work extremely hard, and you have to work out extremely a lot. Meaning, you have to do between 5 and 8 mile runs. You have to work out in the swimming pool. You have to chop wood. You have to do a lot of sparring. You have to do. I mean, it takes a lot of bag work, hand specialists, masseuse. It takes a lot for a fight that's at a crazy high magnitude, with a super fight. But when it's an exhibition, you can come in the gym, you can work out, you can hit the bag, you can spar a little bit, you can do little light runs, you can have fun, you can travel the world and still do your workouts, and it's pretty cool.
Meanwhile, Pacquiao says
And that way he's saying he can make money while he's just basically training, which is very smart at the end of the day. So he's not wrong there, but Pacquiao said he want that smoke.
he gained valuable lessons from their first fight, which he will apply strategically in this upcoming bout.
I learned a lot on that fight way back 2015. I think we become mature right now and how to handle it, and I hope that it will not happen again the way it is last 2015. It's the experience is not really 100%, but I'm hoping for this time around no more excuses, especially to my condition and also for everything. I'm so excited and ready to the fight. Although before he wants an exhibition with me, but I disagree, and I want to fight with exhibition with him. I want to fight a real fight like this. So
instead of traditional pay-per-view, the fight reaches a massive global audience through streaming subscriptions, sponsorship deals, and merchandise sales, making it one of the biggest sporting events of the year.
When people say the biggest fight in boxing history, if you don't adjust for inflation, et cetera, or tickets sold, et cetera, Joe Louis and Max Schmeling, the rematch, Ali and Frazier, the first fight, these were the biggest fights in boxing history. But Mayweather and Pacquiao was easily the biggest fight of its era, of the generation. And it was the highest grossing fight of all time.
Sure.
Because it had 4.4 million pay-per-view buys at $100 a pop. Do the math, right? It's interesting because Netflix is obviously in the business of, you said, eventizing.
Yes.
Everyone, they want enormous events that become shared experiences. In a way, in this day and age, partly because of delivery systems of content like Netflix, everything is so niche. You know, everything is so compartmentalized that there's very few shared experiences. It's one of the reasons that the NFL is such a big deal, because the NFL can get tens of millions of people.
Oscar De La Hoya believes Floyd Mayweather Jr. will defeat Manny Pacquiao again, praising his elite defense and ring control.
See, one thing about Mayweather you have to understand is he's always taken care of himself. Like, you know, his body, physically, mentally, he's always been very sharp and always staying in the gym and doing something physically, right? That's the big advantage he has. I mean, he's an athlete. He's a
Pacquiao's already been doing the same thing, doing 1,000 crunches a day, just because.
He's a world-class athlete. You know, watching Pacquiao's last fight, yeah, you kind of feel bad. You kind of feel bad for him. And, you know, even though he did win and he did, I guess, pull off a surprise in his last fight with a draw against the world champion. But still, you tend to kind of like feel bad because it's not the same Pacquiao. You know, it's definitely not the same Pacquiao I faced.
I'm not saying Floyd either. He just wants to bring himself in there.
That's for sure. The one that you know, put me on my stool in the 9th round.
He believes Floyd's ability to avoid punches and dictate the fight's tempo kept opponents frustrated throughout his career.
If they make it a real fight with the real rules, then yeah, it's an okay night for boxing.
Who would you back? Who do you think would win it? If it's a real fight, because that's what Pacquiao wants, it seems.
Yeah, I think Mayweather will. Mayweather. I think
nobody seems to think Pacquiao won it.
Mayweather will take it. Yeah,
Manny Pacquiao is now fully focused on boxing only. Unlike the first fight, there are no distractions, and all attention remains on training and preparation.
We want to know, do you plan to return to politics, or is boxing now your focus for the next few years?
First of all,
right, y'all, we've been at it for an hour on a weekday. I got work in the morning. I did a lot already. Y'all take it easy. Thanks for chilling with me this stream. If you found value in it, like and subscribe for me. Do this every day. Get to educate, motivate. Take it easy.